I love Transformers. No, like, I really love Transformers. For those that stick around for my other content, you would know that I'm currently writing a story based on the series that I really consider to be my passion project. As any normal or sane Transformers fan, I have an abundance of figures that I don't need but also need because they look awesome. I also really love the characters and storylines that are introduced. Well, most of the time. So, how did I get into the series, you may be asking? Well, yeah, my first introduction to the series was through the Michael Bay films, of all things. It was through these movies where I first learned about Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Megatron, and everyone else, really. I would watch the 2007 film over and over again because I really enjoyed it. Then came Revenge of the Fallen, Dark of the Moon, Age of Extinction, The Last Knife to My Chest, I mean The Last Night, Bumblebee, and now with the upcoming release of Transformers Rise of the Beast. So, because we are less than a month now from this movie being released, I thought now would be a great time to discuss these films from my least favorite to my absolute favorite. Now, before we begin, I just want to put my foot down and say that these are just my opinions. If you have a different take, I would love to read it in the comments below. But please, keep it civil. These are just movies and not actual things that affect the world. So try and have fun with it, please. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's get to my least favorite of the bunch. That being Transformers The Last Night. Where the hell do I even begin with this one? Being the fifth installment within Michael Bay's saga, I'm gonna actually come out and say that I was really, and I mean really, excited for this one. I would always tune into the trailers, watch the Raging Nation for updates, and just so much more, if I'm being honest. Like, I remember being hyped about the Knights, Dragonstorm. I even remember dragging my mother to the Toys R Us, which I didn't realize would be the last time I ever stepped foot within that store. And so much more. When the night of June 21st arrived, me and a friend went to see it, expecting an amazing experience. Because the trailers, like, it felt like it was going to promise something that, you know, the Bayverse hadn't done before. And I was really excited. But we left with an empty pit in our stomachs. Listen, when I say that The Last Night shoved its Excalibur sword into my stomach and twisted it around to make it worse, it made it worse like 5 times over. I remember just feeling so hollow after watching the movie. But why? Simply put, the movie, to me at least, was just a 2-hour and 30-minute plot hole in comparison to the previous films that came before it. In the movie, we learn that Earth is actually Unicron, which is weird, I'll be honest. I mean, they executed it well in the Prime show, but here it just felt really out of place. We also learn about the secret history of the Transformers, which makes no sense in the slightest, as Prime considered Earth as unknown in the first few seconds of the 2007 film. Then again, we had the Sun Harvester in Revenge of the Fallen that was built in, like, way back, I guess, and, you know, we had the Ark on the Moon, and yeah, it was just an idea that the whole writer's room said, hey, why not to, okay? I mean, for Christ's sake, we have Bumblebee and Hot Rod in World War II. World War II! For the longest time, I've just rationalized that they landed there in search for the Allspark, but honestly, I doubt any sense was thrown in there. Michael Bay probably just thought it would be cool and didn't think about it twice. Because we know how much he loves the military and American spirit. Quintessa was a villain. I don't know why they didn't just use the Quintessons from G1. Because I'll be honest, I feel like their designs would have translated incredibly to the Bayverse style. Like with their sharp teeth, like, you know, the tendrils and this alien looking shapes. I feel like they would have looked so cool if they went full G1 with them. Quintessa also throws a wrench to the whole creators thing from Age of Extinction, as there's only one instead of more, being a creator instead of creators. Plus, her hand looks nothing like the aliens we saw at the beginning of Age of Extinction. Mark Wahlberg, I like him as an actor. I thought Cade Yeager was an okay character. I mean, I definitely prefer him over Shia LaBeouf's character, but that's a hot topic. But he really didn't give it his all in The Last Night. He looked like he just wanted to leave in each scene. Isabella Moner's character in the movie really felt unnecessary. Really, if you took her out, nothing would have changed. She seemed to have fun on set, which I don't blame her. Whether the movie is bad or good, I just think it'd be really fun to be in an action film, especially something like Transformers. Really, the only parts that I enjoyed within this train wreck was Sir Anthony Hopkins' character and Cogman.
Move, bitch, get out of my way. Move, bitch, get out of my way.
Cogman is the GOAT, let's all be honest. I also like the concept of Nemesis Prime fighting Bumblebee of all characters, except it was like less than a minute long, which was really disappointing because it could have been such an emotional battle, you know? Hate the Decepticons in this movie. They could have been cool characters after they were introduced with all those like name tags, making them seem like they're going to be like big bads. But oh wait, they're dead within the first 10 minutes.
Only one in here. This ain't right.
Like, do you see what I mean? It's just, the more I talk about this, the more fumbled I feel. It's just a mess. I hate this damn movie, alright? Just, everything is just out of place. It doesn't fit continuity-wise. It's a mess. It's just a mess. And the amount of times they say bitch in this movie is astonishing. Before we move on, here's a take from my friend Alex over at Swagalicious. Please subscribe to him. His content deserves more eyes. Anyways, take it away, buddy.
Picture this. It's 2017 and you're going to see Transformers The Last Night in theaters with your family. And you're about an hour into the movie and everyone around you is asleep. But you're loving the movie and because it's fun. And you're 13. And then you grow up and you see the movie a few times over the years and you hate it. If you can picture that, you're me. Because this movie sucks and I can realize it. Not only is it the worst Transformers movie, it's one of the worst movies I have ever seen. This movie is atrocious and riddled with plot holes, which, sure, every Transformers movie retcons the history. Fine. Alright? It doesn't even necessarily, retcon it. Revenge of the Fallen, they were actually there. Ancient humans may not have been documented. Very possible. Dark of the Moon, the space race, very possibly top secret, and not released to anyone who may have been involved with the Transformers. Or whatever. Age of Extinction, that was the dinosaur times. No humans were alive then. That definitely wasn't gonna be documented. This movie of Bumblebee fighting unspecified German soldiers in World War II. And I can't say the name of these type of soldiers because YouTube does not like that, and this is not my channel. This movie sucks. It is awful. It is unfunny. The characters are insufferable. Except for Hound. John Goodman is the only redeeming quality of this movie. And there are a couple decent quarter-baked ideas that are okay. Like Cade not being able to talk to Tessa is fun. Not fun, but it's a good idea. If done correctly, it could have been emotional. And Lennox returning is a good idea. Actually, he should have been the protagonist of 4 and 5. But nope, he's the protagonist of neither of them. We got Mark Wahlberg's shitty-ass acting. Yeah, at least in Age of Extinction, the movie's fun. You got dinosaurs. You know, they're in this movie, I guess. That's all I can say about it. They made Hot Rod French. There's a British girl in it. And oh my god, don't even get me started on f***ing Bumblebee in this movie. He's one of the most insufferable pieces of shit I have ever seen. Imagine if you took the scene where he pissed on Simmons in the first movie, made it 100 times less funny, and made that his entire character. That's Bumblebee in this movie. Can we talk how he just f***ing learns to talk again with a broken voice box, even though the point that he has a broken voice box is made throughout the movie? It is used as the base for one of the least funny jokes I've ever seen in a movie. Where one of the worst characters I've ever seen on screen and anything ever in Day Trader gives Bumblebee a voice box and it's fucking Siri voice. It is insufferable. It is not funny like the rest of the fucking movie. Can we talk about how the action is just kind of dog shit at Transformers movie, the CGI is fine. Bumblebee falls apart like Legos at one point. Dude, this movie just fucking sucks all over the place. This movie was made to make money, and sure, it did that, but it made the actual good Transformers movie bomb at the box office. Like I said before, this movie is one of the worst movies I have ever seen. The characters are fucking insufferable, and they're stupid. They willingly work with Megatron in this movie, and by they, I mean the fucking government, who knows what he is capable of, has seen what he has done, and have very clearly have to be against what has happened throughout the first 3 movies. But they willingly work with this guy, they give him what he wants, and they release a fucking team of Decepticons, except for one, because he's too violent. But at least Megatron has his fusion cannon now, that's fucking cool, and Frank Welker's voicing him, which is also kinda cool. And what the fuck happened to the creators? This point made, and before the movie, like this group of people, these creators, and you even see their gross little fingers in the beginning of the movie, and then they just slap you in the they just whip their dick out on the table and fucking slap you around with it and give you Quintessa. One of the worst villains ever. Oh, I had my staff stolen. When? This very clearly, the Cybertronian War takes place over millions and millions of years. You didn't send someone to go get it earlier? There were 6 of them on Earth. Now there are like fucking 60. You can take a bunch of humans. It's not that difficult. The humans and these old ass fucking night dudes, and the night dudes just give the staff away to the fucking humans. Like some ancient evil is going to come in for this. And then Optimus Prime is like, I'll kill you for destroying my planet. Psycho Optimus is a big problem in this movie. Even though he's a bad guy for most of it. And oh my god, I haven't even gotten to the worst part of this movie. Get this. Transformers Satan, Unicron, is Earth. This entire time, all of us have been living on Satan. Planet-eating Satan. Stupid, horrible plot point, terrible idea. And had it gone any further, I guarantee you, Unicron would have never transformed, because they aren't going to kill every single person on the planet. This movie is one of the worst pieces of film I have ever seen. What Michael Bay did is he went into the sewers, found a homeless man, cracked out on whatever, playing in his own feces, surrounded by rats, and recorded that. And out of that recording came this movie. This is the worst Transformers movie, by far. The other worst one, probably Age of Extinction. At least it has redeeming qualities, and it's fun at certain points throughout the movie. This movie is not. This movie is just one of the worst pieces of anything I have ever seen. And I unfortunately had to rewatch this last night. Actually, I didn't have to. I did it for the content. But I don't think it was worth the torture of having to watch this movie. And will I watch it again? At some point, probably. -6 out of 10.
Age of Extinction was actually number 4 on this list, but after rewatching the movie, it's rough. It's rough. Like The Last Night, this was another movie I was really excited for. Young me was ecstatic for this. Like a new Prime design, Dark of the Moon sequel, the freaking Dinobots. I was still writing off my, War for Cybertron high, so I was really excited for that. Still, they're the best thing in this damn movie. I got all the toys and figures, followed all the news, I was ready. And when I watched it as a kid, yeah, I liked it. Nowadays, I look at it and feel strange. Like, as an adult, I get the jokes, the weird gestures, and yeah, it was, sheesh. The movie is basically about the Autobots being hunted down by the law after they saved them after everything in Chicago. I mean, it's really hard to explain the plot as there's just a lot in it. You got the human side, which is really, I thought was interesting at first, but then over time I was like, eh. I mean, you have the seed, the dinosaurs. Yeah, I don't know, but okay, like, all that aside, my biggest gripe with this movie is Optimus Prime.
I'll kill you. I'll kill you. He's going to die. Or die. I'll kill you.
I don't know how to describe it, but Optimus in this movie just feels wrong. And look, I get it. His family members are being killed. He was betrayed and getting hunted down by the people he swore to protect. I get it, and I understand the argument. And frankly, I believe that concept can work if done right. Because when I think of Optimus Prime, I think of the hopeful, optimistic, courageous hero that never gives up, no matter how dire the situation gets. Like, that's his character. Prime is normally hopeful within his darkest hour. Minus everything, he will do what's right. But something about Optimus in this movie just feels taboo. That's the best way to describe it. He feels unhinged, short the temper, and the thing that pushes me over the edge with it is that he kills a human. Just saying that aloud, just Optimus killing a human sounds wrong. And although the dude did deserve it, I feel like it would have been more in line with Prime's character if he didn't kill him. There could have been a character scene where Prime is about to, but the last second he would decide against it. It would be an arc of rage being overcome and turn to tolerance, as Cade would have given him, that quote-unquote faith he needed in humans. I feel like it would have made for a powerful scene and shown that true strength isn't indulging into your darkest choice, but going against it. To me, that's what Prime should have done. That's what it should have been represented as. You know? Who am I kidding? This version of Prime became a psychopath after killing Grinder. Thanks, Michael!
Directly below. Enemy screwed him.
For number 4, we have Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. Do I really need to explain this one? Being the second installment within the film series, Revenge of the Fallen performed well with cash, but it wasn't great critically or audience reaction-wise. Even Michael Bay said that the movie wasn't good and even apologized because of it. As for a sequel concept to the 2007 movie, I think it would have turned out well if the writer's strike at the time hadn't limited the production. The script was semi-pushed and in turn made the movie feel off. It takes place a small bit after the events of the 2007 movie, and we follow Sam, who's heading to college. It's the most boring aspect of the film. Meanwhile, Optimus and the Autobots are working with a secret military organization now known as Nest, trying to make a home for themselves on Earth. However, shit hits the fan when an ancient Decepticon known as the Fallen rises up to wreak Sam and Michaela, along with the Autobots, pretty much have to figure out the history of the Transformers on Earth and find a way to defeat the Fallen once and for all. On their journey, they meet Jetfire, and we're introduced to new Autobots, and most importantly, we follow Optimus all yeah. Prime is killed and sidelined up until the end. Should I bring up the twins? No? Yeah, that's fine. How about I bring up...
Name's Wheelie. Yeah. Say my name. Say my name.
Okay, yeah, this movie is just... Like, the plot is watchable, the action is sick, but the humor in this thing is just downright awful. It's literally just a bunch of sex jokes for the most part. Like, I don't recall any other joke in this movie besides the horny ones. This movie is based on Transformers. So how did we go from this...
What's the matter, Chip?
I guess I was hoping Devastator might join the Autobots for good, but that's probably just a dumb old dream.
Hang on to your dreams, Chip. The future is built on dreams. Hang on.
To this.
Directly below.
Oh, hey, at least Optimus feels like Optimus. I'm just realizing this is where it all began. Oh my god. Alright. I can't hate on everything within this movie. I kind of did with Age of Extinction, but that's because that one issue with it really ruined the entire experience for me. Here, there are some aspects that I do like. I love the new characters. I really like Sideswipe, the RC triplets. Not twins. I don't care what the movie says. I really love the Fallen. He's an interesting character to me, and I really wish he didn't die. Sam Michaela's arc was nice, at least to me at the end. Until it wasn't in Dark of the Moon. Look, what I'm trying to say is that although yes, this movie was bad, it does have its nice moments here and there. I feel like with some revision and less creepy jokes, Transformers Revenge of the Fallen could have been a great movie. Except we had Michael's grubby little fingers on it, as he just doesn't get it. He gets the action right, don't get me wrong, but as for characters and story, just, oh my... Oh, thank God for Travis Knight and Stephen Cable Jr. These guys seem to get it. Moving on. Wait. Before you get your torches and pitchforks, just hear me out, okay? Look, I get it. It's the first movie. It's the starting point. It's the good one, as everyone says. And I know it's the good one. I know. But why is it number 3 on your list, you may be asking? And I'll explain with... Look, I'll explain with my next follow-up. Just hear me out, okay? Transformers 2007 was the first live-action movie for the franchise. It was a groundbreaking film that brought these characters to life for the very first time and converted me into the monster I am today. It's an action-packed, visually stunning movie that delivers on its promise of featuring the Autobots and Decepticons battling out on Earth. The film features impressive visual effects that bring the Transformers to life in a realistic and engaging way, seamlessly blending computer-generated imagery with live-action scenes. These effects actually still hold up really well today, so take this. Director Michael Bay, for at least this one, creates a fast-paced, adrenaline-fueled ride that will keep you on the edge of your seat from start to finish. The film's cinematography is also noteworthy, with sweeping shots of the transformations and intense, heart-pumping action sequences. And I will say, in the first one, the human characters, the chemistry between them is pretty nice. The only real downside to this film is that the plot can be a bit convoluted at times, and again, some jokes aren't that funny. Minus that, I still really like this movie, and it begins the segment of the films that I actually enjoy and would watch again. Overall, if you're a fan of action movies, CGI-laden spectacles, or just giant robots fighting each other, this first live-action movie is a must-see for both fans and new fans alike. I hate writing scripts. Okay, I'll be honest. I enjoy Dark of the Moon more than the original 2007 film. Okay, before you start hate commenting and all that, just hear me out, because this movie, it holds a special place in my heart, as weird as that sounds. The plot of the film centers around the discovery of a hidden spacecraft called the Ark, and the Decepticons' attempts to use its technology called Pillars to take over the world. Nothing new, right? Meanwhile, the Autobots and Nest tried to stop them with the help of their recently revived leader called Sentinel Prime. Holy shit, Ironhide's dead. Yeah, this movie, it's dark. A lot darker than I think it should be. But oddly enough, I feel as though it works. After everything that the previous 2 Bay films set up, this feels like what the Decepticons would do, in all honesty. The betrayal of Sentinel was a shock, and the final battle along with the score is just... it's phenomenal. The film's cast is led by Shia LaBeouf once again, who delivers another solid performance as Sam. The chemistry between him and his on-screen love interest, Carly. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about why. Now, obviously, the movie ain't perfect. I mean, this is where Psycho Prime shows its true colors for the first time. And the Sam looking for a job segments are dragging and unnecessary for this movie. All for the fucking line of...
It's the messenger.
Now, you may be wondering why I have this so high up on my list. It's two reasons, actually. One, I actually got to witness the filming of this thing in Chicago. They actually allowed people to watch it. And since I lived near the city, my parents decided, hey, why not? So we got to see a little bit of it. It was pretty cool. This was also the first movie I ever watched in theaters. It was me and my dad, and we had a great time. Minus the dark undertones in this thing, I can't help but look fondly upon it. The story wasn't anything special, but the CGI, the Autobots, Decepticons, and really a majority of everything else in this movie were awesome. Shockwave was a menace, along with that driller thing he had. I swear, that thing... I don't know why, but when I was younger, I thought this thing crawled out of Devastator for some reason. I don't know why. Sentinel was, again, a good twist, and... oh my god, I can't stop saying it. The music. The freaking music. I would play some, but I don't want to get another copyright claim on this page, but if you know, you know. This movie really felt like the conclusion to the films, and it really should have. Out of the Bayverse, this is and probably will remain my favorite film out of the 5 until, I guess maybe my opinion changes, but nostalgic wise and from the enjoyment of a standpoint, dude, I like this one. It's the best out of the Bayverse. Now, onto my personal favorite Transformers movie. I know it's probably obvious at this point, but for the sake of it, let's do this one last time. Bumblebee is without a doubt my favorite Transformers film. Originally being a prequel to the 2007 movie, the film ended up changing into the start of a rebooted franchise due to the negative feedback from The Last Knight. And before anyone snaps at me, Bayverse shills, both director Travis Knight and Stephen Cable Jr. from Rise of the Beast have said on multiple occasions that Bumblebee and its follow-up coming out later this month is a part of a rebooted continuity.
It's a reboot for sure. That's all I can say without spoiling.
All right.
It's a reboot for sure. If the Bayverse, you can still watch the Bayverse and be on your own verse, so to speak. With us, we're definitely like, we want this to work. You know, we want people to. It's a refresher, so you can call it a reboot in terms of like where we were starting. But yeah, it's definitely a new direction for sure.
The film follows Bumblebee as he's sent to Earth by Prime to establish a new base for the Autobots, already contradicting the whole World War II thing. I seriously don't understand why people consider this thing to be a prequel. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Landing on Earth in the 80s, Bumblebee is tracked down by Blitzwing, loses his voice box along with his memories, and soon he's discovered by a teenage girl named Charlie, played by Haley Steinfeld, who helps him escape from the government along with two triple-changer Decepticons named Shatter and Dropkick, who are looking for him. I love these two. These Decepticons had the most characters since the 2007 movie. I would adore to see new adaptations of these guys one day in like maybe a show or something, because man, I really wish they stuck around. Along the way, Charlie and Bumblebee form a special bond, and together they must fight to protect Earth from the two cons that plan to call the Others. Speaking of Others, these designs are phenomenal. I could recognize each character just by their looks and color. Optimus, RC, Brawn, Ironhide, my goat Wheeljack, Ratchet, Cliffjumper, Soundwave, Starscream, and Shockwave. G1 works in live action. I don't want to hear it. It works. Overall, Transformers Bumblebee is a fun, exciting, and heartfelt movie that manages to stand out from the other films before it, focusing more on character rather than action and sexy, quote-unquote, sexy actresses. With its well-choreographed action sequences, strong performances, and engaging story, it is a movie that, in my opinion, is sure to please fans of Transformers, as well as those who are new to the series. This movie just felt good, okay? It was fun, and it had actual heart in its story. It had characters that didn't look like blenders with legs and arms. It had nice jokes, pacing, and just care. The people behind this movie cared. Travis Knight cared more about this franchise than Michael Bay ever did. You know, when the filmmakers care, it really creates something special. And just with this new breath of fresh air for the series, it just makes me love this movie. And God, I love this Bumblebee movie. It made me feel a joy that none of the other films had. It made me care in a way that wasn't just big explosions or robots fighting. I really cared for Bumblebee in the movie, along with the main human characters. That's new. All of this truly just gets me excited for Rise of the Beast, which has received positive early reviews, with fans saying that it has the heart of Bumblebee, but the action style of the Bayverse. Now, if you ask me, I'd say that makes for the perfect Transformers movie. These characters aren't just soulless cannon fodder. There are stories upon stories of character in all of the Transformers, both big and small. If what everyone is saying is true about Rise of the Beast, then we have an awesome future ahead for this new saga of films. Just crossing my fingers it performs well. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for all my upcoming uploads. Every click means one step away from working at Walmart for the rest of my life. Anyways, that's about it. Stay awesome.